Hi everybody, welcome to Milgat Farms, Virginia's only organic maple syrup farm. So today we're going to take Alice, a friend of ours, along with a gentleman who lives in the Netherlands, up into the sugar bush in the side-by-side, which is right behind me, and we're going to see if we can scare them. So come along and let's see how this works out. And this is to show out Wiley. And I can hit a milk jug from 400 or 500 meters. Okay. Keep your hands and feet in the vehicle all the time during the ride. Yeah. You do want to hold on. I guarantee you're going to want to hold on. Okay. So we're going to stop up and get a chainsaw just in case the tree is down. Because depending on where we go, backing up is not really a comfortable option. Don't make fun of my junk back here. This is not a work in process. This is how we live.
There's the line.
There's two of the lines, yeah. Two main lines coming in.
I want your manure truck.
You like that thing? Isn't that cool?
Wouldn't it be pretty with flowers in it?
Yeah, no. I use that thing, Alice. Alice, I didn't answer your question. Those railroad tires are my firewood. I can't wait to split them. They split so easy. Alright guys, let's go straight up. Hold on, Alice. Alright, we're gonna bounce a little bit. Here we go. Back on the path. Okay, now we're on the path.
There's children up here, so I figure it's okay.
Gotcha, man. That's one of our best videos of scaring mom. We did it in 2 different videos. She didn't think we could do it. We did it really well. Alright, we're going to go through the bush here in a minute, you guys. Bob, you're going to lean towards Alice a little bit. Yeah. Alright, lean in. Woo! That's a stupid bird. Hold on. Lean in. We're going. Lean in. Alright. We're almost in. During the season, this looks a lot different. It does. No, we're not even done yet. So,
Okay.
this is the north line, or the south line. Are you okay? A little pucker factor going on? We are behind. You can smell something dead. It's not far. Yep, there he is. Any rate, these are the lines on the south side. We're going to go up a little bit, and I'll show you kind of where it gets a little steep. Yes,
Why are the loops in the line?
because I have neglected my time up here. So let's get out of this area, and I'll tell you about it. Okay.
I think I know.
In the season, when we're done, we pull the taps and we loop them in order to seal them so we can continue collecting any water that may come down. We also are about to, we're going to sanitize. And so I've not been doing good on that. All right, so just here's a good example. See the tree down?
All right.
Took it down right there. The lines are down, and there's little branches here and there. Those aren't bad. You can yank those off. But you'll see up here, there'll be trees that knock down the main line. That's different. This time of the year is when I would fix that sort of thing. But to do the little line maintenance work that we have to do, like removing these things, I can do that in the winter. We have to change out taps every year. And the tap, we'll go by a tree, I'll show you what that is. What you're not seeing, maybe from can you grab that and lift it up? All the way, there you go. That's cool. You let go.
Okay.
Okay. What you probably aren't seeing or realizing is the steepness of where you are. That section right there goes up maybe 300 meters, and it's like this. It's insanely steep. That plays into the ability for the water to come down into the barn through gravity.
Right.
There's 2 kinds of lines at the market that's prevalent in the market today. There's a thick line, a fat one, because 5/16, that's an inch. I don't know what the millimeters is. There's a 3/16, which is smaller, and that's what you're seeing right here. A 3/16 line will develop its own natural vacuum given enough elevation difference. Okay, so what it'll do, and if you ever take a straw, put it into some liquid, hold your finger on the top of it, you've created a column of water, and effectively that's what these lines are doing, creating a column of water. Thus, by having the differential of elevation, you get your vacuum. It's a natural vacuum. I did say we vacuum the lines. We have a mechanical vacuum that we run in addition to the gravity vacuum. And what that does is it ensures that every tap throughout the whole bush has an equal amount of vacuum on it. If you use just natural vacuum, and here's an example. Let's call this ground zero for elevation. You see that line that goes up, right? As it's going up, it's gaining elevation. By the time it gets to the end, it may be 75 to 100 foot higher in elevation, but as it comes down and gets closer and closer to the main line where the water dumps in, it's less and less and less vacuum until there's zero vacuum from a 3/16 perspective, just naturally. However, when you put a mechanical vacuum on it, every single tap on that line to the top has the same number. So if I put a gauge on the top, it may read 20, 24 inches. I put a gauge down here on the bottom, it'll read exactly the same. And that's when the monitoring system comes into play that allows me to know if the system's performing properly. If I have a leak here and there, the system will be suppressed a little bit, but if I have a bunch of leaks, it'll be suppressed a whole lot. Therefore, I'll get a text message and email, go fix it. And I've got to come out here and fix it. So I'll come out to what we're doing. Actually, in season, we can't get this far in on this side of the bush. We have to stop way back down there. And as a result, I pack everything in, start walking. And I walk all the way. You'll see. We walk this whole thing. And I'll walk this thing hundreds of times a year. Hundreds and hundreds. That's why I'm skinny.
That's why you can eat 2 desserts.
I lost 15 plus pounds this year. Now I did a video, Alice, of my commute to work. And I started at the bottom. It's a YouTube short video. Where I did it as a short. And I came up here hauling butt. It was a blast. Hold on. Woo. Now you'll see different markings as we come up. That lets me know there's a maple tree right there. Whenever I go in the woods, I always carry engineer tape, and then I always mark different things from firewood to problems to more taps. Now, look at that, Alice. You see that tree that's down?
Yes.
It's still alive. Okay? So, we're going to call that a cull tree, a C-U-L-L, cull tree. That big tree, actually, you stupid dog, what are you doing? You can't see it. There's a set of trees on the other side right over there that came down. They toppled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
And when they did, they took my lines out. That tree right there hit another tree, which took my main line out. So I had to come up here in the middle of the season and fix it and get it back to working. But it's still alive. So even though I can cull it, next year I'm going to tap it like 10 times to see what I get out of it. I'm only allowed to tap a tree so many times based on the parameter of the diameter of the tree. That's what organics talks about. Here we go. Hold on, Alice. Now you see something like this. See that tree right there?
Yeah.
That's a post. It may not look like a post, but that's a post that's going to go in my garden. So I'll cut that tree. That's a locust tree. So locusts, they don't rot. They'll last 30 years in the ground.
I think Austin is using locust posts.
So we come up on the mountain. That's the problem with the side-by-side. That's what I was doing, collecting wood. And I put the parking brake on, but it still went down the mountain and damn, and total lost the other side-by-side. But that right there, I'll come in, chop it up in 7-foot sections, and I'll pound it in the ground. There's a fence post for the farm. It's certified for the organics.
When you're driving fence post with your new driver, Wiley wants to come and watch.
I'll be doing it next week. You
I'll
can come
tell
over.
it.
It's a blast. That thing is amazing. What we're talking about is pushing posts into the ground. So you could drill it with an auger, put it in, you put some concrete, and it'll work. But if you drive a post, you push that post in the ground with the driver, there's two types. There's one that slams it down like this, and there's another you just put on it,
Just pushes it in.
right on the ground.
Wow.
Absolutely amazing. You cannot move the post. You take the two, it's a completely different post. It's amazing what technology will do. So throughout the year, I'll be marking stuff and looking, and I'm always coming up, moving trees. There's we have chanterelles coming in here soon, so we get mushrooms off the farm. Sorry about
That's
that.
something I would like to learn more about.
I'm not any good at it. Now, this line delineates north, south. There are no lines across this road. Besides what we just came in, that's all the north lines on the farm. This is all the south line. Alright, since we got this tree right here, let me show you something. Okay. How do you determine a maple? How do you know what a maple tree is?
The leaves.
Alright. There you go. That's a good guess. However, let's say we're in the winter and you don't have them. How do you know if you can tap it or not? You can. You have no leaves to
Buds.
determine.
You mark them in the
Buds.
summertime.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? So here's the easiest way you can determine what a maple looks like. So you're looking at this thing right here, right? See this branch? Another branch. You see another branch. Coming down, you see another branch, another branch.
Yeah.
On a maple, it'll be a branch, a branch. A branch, a
Oh,
branch.
really?
Horizontally opposed. So all of your maple, including a box elder, is horizontally opposed. So I'll show you what I mean by that.
Like a fern.
Yes. All right, hold on. We gotta get some speed. All right, we're about done. Woo! All right, we're close to the top. So here's a good example of this is a striped maple. It's not a tree that we ever tap on the farm because they don't get it to any significant size. But it does exhibit what I'm telling you. So do you see that one right there? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See that? Those two? Same thing on all the maple trees around here. All of them are horizontally opposed. So in the winter, if I'm looking at a tree, I can look at the bark and go, oh, I think it's a maple. What I will do is get my binoculars out and I'll look in the tops of the trees at the branching.
And there's a difference in sugar maples and
Yes.
red maples.
Oh, of course, yeah, most definitely. Your sugar maples are going to produce a much higher sugar content. The bark is different. That's a black right there. I call that a black. It could be a black or a sugar. They're very similar in design. The one behind it, that's a sugar. Mostly sugars in this part of the area. Your soft maples are going to have a smooth bark. Your hard maples are going to look like that tree right there. And they're going to produce a different sugar content. All right, we're going backwards. So hold on.
Now I have to think backwards.
You want the full experience, Alice? I can see yes on that answer. Alice wants the full experience. So we're going to head on up to the top.
We're coming. The rocks are beautiful.
They are really pretty. And I tap trees on top of those like an idiot. Most of my tapping occurs during the winter. Meaning it's snow and ice, and that's what we're working with up here. Will you grab that one? Yeah, I hooked it. Yeah, that's cool. You can let go. Okay, so are you getting an idea of what the steepness is here?
What's down there?
Yeah, that's over 45.
Yeah,
That's like 60.
it can be. Some areas are flat. Well, we might see one of those today. We may not. You see that tree right there that's down? Yeah, that right there is a soft maple. That's a red or a silver.
Is this all damage? Or is it always that low?
No, it's that low in season. It should be up on the top right now. We'll go forward a little bit so we can go down. The down's fun. right, this one, can you hold this one up and let us go over it, under it? And we'll just put it right back down. It stretches, just yank it right on up. You won't hurt it. I'll get this section here, and I'll meet you at the next one.
Yeah.
It should work. One more, and we'll scare Alice.
I don't mind the steepness, it's the sideways that bothers me.
Don't worry, I've never flipped it. Okay, hold on, I gotta get. All right, hop on in.
See why I put you on the outside?
She thinks she's safe. Sure, here we go. So the only section of the farm I haven't tapped yet is this one on my left. And I haven't tapped it because I physically, by the time I'm done tapping after 10 days, I'm done. It's all I can do to tap. And go do sheep and go do other things in B&Bs. So I typically don't want to tap anything more than what I've got until Gabriel gets older. But I think we probably have another 500 taps on the farm. And that's not a lot, but you figure you get about a quart, well, it's almost a liter per tap. I don't always make this one, but we did. There's a lot of big rocks down. Bears come in and flip the rocks,
Yeah.
and they're looking for bugs. As I go through here, I'm always looking for things that are going to cause problems. This is an end of a main line right here, and that end was where I'd put a sensor. And about right here is where the accident occurred with my other side-by-side that got damaged really bad. I'm lucky I didn't get hurt.
Yes, you are.
I am very lucky. I was going to pause for a second.
I love it up here.
Yeah, that's great.
Very peaceful. A lot of work. There's a fair amount of work here. Our pasture line is right here. And so there's still trees that shoot off down in there that I don't tap. There's firewood.
It's long and straight
It is.
and straight.
It is. I wish I could get it for some wood. Okay. I brought my big lift up here not too long ago. Part of it to try to move my side-by-side. That didn't work out. I almost lost the lift off the mountain. This is a north line right here. And it goes back to the tip top where we just were located. The second steepest part in the mountain is this area right here. And then it steepens, it gets a little flatter up there, then it goes back to steep. So, oh, you see these trees are down, so I'm gonna have to cut that and fix them. Yeah, no problem. Pretty easy.
Yeah, that's a lot of yards of line that you have to secure.
Miles upon miles.
You know how long?
We're in the 20 to 30 mile range, probably.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, especially when you start looking at the laterals. I buy, gosh, I can't tell you how many lines I've bought. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of feet. I mean.
So how do you have like a certain height that you tap them?
Yeah, breast height, DBH. Diameter at breast height is what you're looking for. Now, you can tap a tree anywhere. You can tap a branch, you can tap a trunk, you can tap whatever. Tap a root if you can get to it. In some trees I do tap just the root because that's all I can get to. I can't get on there because they're on a rock face and I got to climb up them, but I can hit that root and be okay.
Does it matter where you tap? Like, no.
It matters where you tap the next year. So let's say the tree's as big as the steering wheel. If I tap right here, I got to go 6 inches in all directions because basically that wood around that tap hole is dead. So you kill that tree right in that spot, but it's not going to hurt the tree. So just on the outside of the tree, 1/2 inch in is dead. And in reality, the tree itself, the only thing that's really alive on the tree, I believe is a cambium, which is the layer below the bark. Okay, and so you're only looking at a layer about that thin, depending on the season. It's only very thin. Everything on the inside is just heartwood or wood that is no longer live. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess
all-
it does, yeah.
So everything that's happening in a tree is just outside the bark or just inside the bark.
Yeah.
If you want to kill a tree, the easiest way to do it besides chopping it down is it's called girdling. So you just take your hatchet and chop a circle right around the whole outside edge of that tree, just inside below the bark. That tree's dead.
Austin's goats are doing a great job of that.
Is it girdle trees?
Well, yes, it's an autumn olive, so who cares?
Yeah, it's different.
But on that autumn olive where they've girded, where they've
Yeah.
built the bark off, that tree is dead.
It's not coming back.
Done.
Yeah. They're invasive.
There goes a little chipmunk.
Really?
Sawing
That could be a
wood.
fairy diddle. Did you know what that was? Tim Duff got me on that one.
No, I don't know.
Tag on fairy diddles. He's like, that's a fairy diddle, Kevin. He came over for dinner one night. I said, Tim, you understand we got the internet, right? Turns out he was right. A fairy diddle looks like a chipmunk. Give me just a second, guys.
Okay, so what's the difference between a chipmunk and a fairy diddle?
Fairy diddle's a little bit bigger.
Oh, this was a chipmunk.
Yeah.
They were little.
I thought the same thing. Tim's like, oh, that's poop. Daggone. That's not good. So that means the cows are in here. So that means we potentially have more problems with our lines. I've got the tire for that machine, that little guy right there, down at the barn. I've had it for like 3 months. This is part of why I do what I do. I come out here every day, every time I come out of the woods, I just stop. Daggone.
It's even more amazing when we don't have smoke from Canada.
Is that what?
Smoke? Yeah.
That's what they say.
I don't know where my cows are.
Do you have cows other than the milk cows?
Yeah, I have steers. I have 2 steers, 2 cows, and a heifer. And I'm sorry, I got 3 steers. One's just a border. He's just a sort of excuse me. He's just a border. One of my neighbors liked him and saved him from slaughter, and now he's a pet.
He's like moose.
So Alice, we set those milk jugs up on the other side of the farm.
Uh-huh.
So we'll sit right here. Put that gun in front of you.
Blast them.
Hit him every time. I haven't adjusted the scope on this gun in 4 years.
It's terrific.
It is amazing. It's amazing.
Hey, what are those violet flowers? They remind me of
They are chicory.
chicory.
And they're one of my favorite wildflowers. They say that you can dig the roots up and make a semblance of coffee if you dry them and grind them. We have a violet chicory.
Yuck. Coffee? I'm not a coffee drinker.
I'm not either. That's what the early settlers drank for coffee.
We just got a roaster a couple of months back. One of our friends gave us one. What do you do with that? So we're gonna start roasting coffee here soon. We use the coffee we use coffee beans for our roasted or our infused coffee maple syrup. All right, let me go grab something out of my truck. I'll be right back. Oh wait, you want to say thanks for watching our videos?
Thanks for watching our videos.
Thank you.
He's from the Netherlands.
Amsterdam. Okay.